Harrison Ford is back on the Robo-Beat. Andrew Garfield stars as a truly heroic paraplegic. Robert Redford takes us on a one-day tour of this amazing planet. And a look at the first animated film made entirely of oil paintings. Really? I'm Bill Newcott, film critic for the Saturday Evening Post. All that and more on our podcast, Movies for the Rest of Us.
You're a cop. I had your job once.
Things were simpler then.
What do you want?
I want to ask you some questions. What happened?
We were being hunted.
By who?
Harrison Ford returns to the role he played in director Ridley Scott's 1982 science fiction cult film Blade Runner, and Ryan Gosling plays a futuristic Los Angeles cop doing the job Ford used to do, chasing down renegade humanoid robots. The film is Blade Runner 2049, and it is just as eye-popping as the original. Ford and Gosling are great together, but in more than 2 hours and 40 minutes, the dismal imagery of this dystopian LA really wears you down. Oh, pardon me. The oppressiveness overcomes the fine performances, and as Gosling's character races the clock, you kind of wish the clock would run out yourself. You know, it's getting really stuffy in here. I could use some fresh air. Ah, that's better.
The magical dance of earth and sun. The vital ingredient for life itself.
And that's Robert Redford narrating Earth, One Amazing Day from BBC Earth Films. Film crews traveled around the world to capture never-before-seen moments starting at sunrise and continuing until break of dawn the following day. It's a truly life-affirming experience, and of course you'll see the usual nature film stars from pandas to penguins, but the film's most heart-stopping moment comes when a baby iguana tries to outrun a whole army of racer snakes.
Get me out of here.
No one with your husband's disability exists outside a hospital. Anywhere in the world.
I've just had an idea.
It does his breathing for him.
Movie theaters know what's good for them. They'll sell great big boxes of tissue at the concession stands when they show Breathe, the endlessly inspiring true story of Robin Cavendish, a British man crippled by polio in the 1950s who refused to be institutionalized. Played by Andrew Garfield, Robin creates the first ever self-contained portable respiration machine. Garfield brings dignity and endearing good humor to his role, and Claire Foy, who played Anne Boleyn on Wolf Hall, provides love and inspiration as Robin's wife. Inspiring, compelling, sometimes sad but never tragic, Breathe is the kind of film that makes you laugh and cry and marvel at the power of the human spirit. If you've ever wondered what an animated film made from 65,000 Vincent van Gogh paintings would look like, well, look no further than Loving Vincent, the astounding new film created with the help of 115 painters from around the world. Now, it sounds like a stunt, but the film's lush, swirling images soon envelop you and draw you into the story, which unfolds in the days after the artist's death, from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. You may lose track of the story now and then, but you'll never tire of the film's mesmerizing imagery. This is one of the most extraordinary animated films ever made. I was so impressed that I'm wearing my Van Gogh tie, and even my Van Gogh socks. And I also learned to say Van Gogh instead of Van Gogh. It's Van Gogh. Gogh. You know, every art form has an early genius who seems to see possibilities that no one else envisioned. For television, that guy was Ernie Kovacs, whose surreal sense of humor found a perfect home on the flickering black and white screen. A new collection from Shout Factory is a real find. Every episode of his primetime game show, Take a Good Look. From 1959 to 1961, Kovacs hosted the show that looked a lot like a popular game show called What's My Line, but was really just an excuse for short comedy skits starring Ernie.
Pardon me, sir. The postman's outside with the reply to your letter, but there's some postage due and the petty cash rock is empty.
Petty cash rock empty again?
Postage due, sir. You owe me 840 dinosaur teeth.
840 dinosaur teeth? Where's the letter?
Shout Factory's Take a Good Look is a unique chance to see the work of the man who first realized TV was not just radio with pictures and not just a tiny movie screen. Hey, over here! Down here! Hi! You know, it's been 50 years since the Beatles released Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and 12 years after that, Universal Studios released a lavish movie musical based on the album. Even I thought it was terrible, and I'm on the cover. The story didn't make sense, the stars couldn't act, and you could almost sense the drugs being consumed just off screen. Still, a brand new Blu-ray release of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is a fascinating glimpse of a time that drugs forgot. The Bee Gees took a lot of heat for stepping into the Beatles' shoes, but their harmonies soar, and frankly, their version of Nowhere Man is kind of superior to the Beatles. 50 years later, it's fun to see youngsters like Peter Frampton, Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, Earth, Wind & Fire, and Billy Preston in their wild-haired prime. And speaking of wild, this is the place to see Steve Martin in his first big screen role playing Maxwell Edison.
But as she's getting ready to go, a knock comes on the door. Bang, bang, Maxwell's silver hammer came down upon her head. Bang, bang, Maxwell's silver hammer made sure that she was dead.
Look, give this movie a break. After all, weren't we all just a little stupider in 1978? Well, that's our podcast. For more on the movies, go to SaturdayEveningPost.com/movies. And for all my reviews, interviews, and videos, go to my website, moviesfortherestofus.com. I'm Bill Newcott.